pleasure to see my female journalist colleagues here at the Asian Games. Maybe you want to introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Uthra and I work for a national newspaper called The Hindu in India.
I'm Hedieh Khatibi. I'm from Iran. I work in Gold Daily newspaper and Varzsh online news agency in Iran. And I was hosting TV. But right now, just I'm writing.
Wonderful. It's great to see more and more female journalists are becoming the major scenes of the main press center, isn't it?
But yes, especially in sports because you see political reporters in women political reporters, women business reporters, but not too many in sports. But it's good that it's changing.
Yes.
We see more faces every time we come.
Absolutely. For example, from India.
Yes, India, in fact, India has a lot of women sports reporters in the last 5-6 years. There were just about 5 or 7 or 10 when I started, but in the last 5-7 years, almost every organization, whether it's television or a website or newspaper, everyone has at least one women reporter in sports, so that's good.
And will you feel lonely at the very beginning when there were almost no female sports reporter at the time?
Not really. It's something that I like doing, and if you like what you do, then you don't really see how many people are there around you. You're enough.
But you work your way up.
I've been doing this for about 20 years now, so yeah, been there.
Good for you. And what about for you, covering sports in Iran?
I cover all sports, but especially in basketball, wrestling, and volleyball. Our volleyball is a very good situation now. They try to be on Olympic Games, but I think it's necessary for a sport women write it and be here.
You know, what are some of the categories you are specifically looking at this time?
Quite a few actually. We have a huge sports team in my organization, but I'm the only female reporter. And I'm based in New Delhi, and there are just 3 of us, so we get to cover almost every sport, which is a great thing. But I mainly do hockey. I cover hockey, wrestling, where Iran is very strong, and a big rival for us. Kabaddi, again, where you beat us last time, we won't let you beat this time.
All right. At least it's decided by the press.
Yes, there's badminton, there's cricket this time, which is obviously where India is the strongest.
Yeah.
And a lot of other sports. There's boxing, there's weightlifting, there's table tennis, so quite a few of them.
What about for you?
The famous athlete, he'll come here, I think, next week. Hassan Yazani.
Everybody knows.
He got the gold medal in Olympic Games. People in Iran love him. But we have several famous and nice athletes in volleyball, Sayyid Mohammad Musawi, and another one, Arsalan Kazemi, in basketball. And all of them try to will be in Olympic Games.
Right. And you guys also have very strong shooting games.
Yeah, our shooting, in women, we are better in shooting. For example, Najma Khedmati and the other one. But men are better in wrestling and powerlifting.
Okay. So, when it comes to you doing your work, you know, running up to the athletes and the coaches, head delegations, was it easy to do interviews?
See, at the end of the day, you are a professional, and if you do your work properly and you act like a professional, then everyone respects you. It's not really very difficult or different from doing any other job, whether you're a female reporter or a male reporter. It's mainly about respect, and I've always believed respect is something that you create for yourself. If you behave in a proper professional manner, the athlete always reciprocates the entire thing. If you don't stay professional, they will not take you seriously.
Was there still a moment that you remember you won the respect?
There's not one specific moment. It's just that a lot of these athletes, especially at the international level, they respect you a lot more when they see you every day covering back home at the local levels, when they are starting out, when they are playing in the local domestic tournaments at home, when they are 13, 14, 15, when they start off. If they see you covering seriously at that time, and you give them that respect as an athlete, they always remember.
Yeah, it's like you grow with them, isn't
Exactly.
it? That's an amazing feeling.
And that is where the whole respect thing comes in, because you, even when they're 13 or 14, if you respect them as a sports person, they always remember that about you.
What about a memorable moment for you when covering events?
In fact, our athletes, if you know you, it's very nice and all the time have time, but if you don't know you, at the first it's difficult and take time. But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. But I'm a journalist for long years, for more than 15 years.
Yes.
And when I ask them, they are very nice. But after the matches and in a specific time, I try to not ask them something. And after some minutes, I come and I don't have a bad memory.
I have a lot of respect for sports journalists, because you guys have to be there on time when the match begins, right? And everything's so accurate. And meanwhile, nice to be with those athletes who sometimes very frustrated, very exhausted. You have to work with them. They're nice people, a lot of them, but still a lot of stress. So how does that work out with you personally?
I think that's where the whole respect thing comes. Even if you know someone very well, you're very friends with someone, an athlete, it's very important to know where to draw the line, where to not cross the line, and to understand as a journalist when an athlete is disappointed or is frustrated or is in not a good mood, and not go there and force questions on them or force them to answer. I think that's where the professionalism and the respect part comes in. And if you respect
To treat them
their pace,
as a person, not just a subject, isn't it?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, they are people. They might be females, they might be world champions, but they are people, and they also have their emotions, they have their moods, they have their good and bad days, and you need to know when to stop.
What about female athletes, particularly?
It's funny actually, because for me it's always been more difficult to talk to female athletes, because
No, me too.
yeah, because in sports especially, a women athlete, at least in India, and I'm not sure of Iran, but I'm sure it's true everywhere, a women athlete goes through a lot more to reach this level. So they are a lot more they're all a lot more introvert, they're all a lot more protective of themselves, and they don't open up very easily, they don't talk to you very easily, they don't trust you very easily. It's not their fault, it's just that women in general have to face a lot more than men, whether it's in terms of the society or the authorities, even the governments at a lot of time. Women athletes are always are not really given too much importance. So when they reach this level, they've faced so many struggles, it becomes difficult for them to start opening up. But once they do, I think women athletes are one of the loveliest people I've spoken to.
I think like her, someone trusts us hardly. But if make best decision in the right time, the result will be better, I think. And it depends on you and your the time of your working.
Yeah. If we're working hard, they see it.
Yes.
They know it. You were covering in Rio de Janeiro, the Summer Olympics, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been there, and I had a very good time, because the a specific time it was the gold medal for Hassan Yazani wrestling. they saved our sport in that time because we needed 2 gold medal in that time, and the atmosphere was great. The food, the hosting, and very good. And I had the opportunity to see several sports that I didn't have in my country.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for example, signosize and something like that.
So what about coming here for the 19th Asian Games? What is your, feel so far, in a way?
You are so friendly, and I think make good atmosphere, feeling me positive energy. And I think when I travel in Asia, I think in near our home, but the another countries is strange for me a bit. But I'm comfortable and I work easily.
Because a lot of people were quite taken by great surprise that there are a lot of female Iranian sports journalists. I was taken by great surprise.
Because we work hard in our country and they respect us for that.
Do you feel frustrated when they have stereotypes, coverage about women in Iran?
We live here with this style and we work easily without any limited in different jobs. No?
So we stand up. You have a beautiful, beautiful coat. This is the Iranian lady I know. So please sit down. This is a real women I know, right? Not those in the stereotypes. What about for you?
It's the same. I've always believed that everything has to be a personal choice, but at the same time, it's always also the right thing to do when you take decisions on the basis of where you are. I mean, I'll give you a small example. You can wear anything when you're walking on the streets of Delhi, but when you enter a Gurudwara, you are supposed to cover your head, which is a mark of respect for the Guru, for the God. This cannot be called as forcing something on you. It's the same thing when you enter a temple, a Hindu temple, or you enter a masjid, or you enter a gurdwara like I said. No one is going to question you, no one will tell you that you are not supposed to do this, but it's a personal decision. You expect people to respect that particular place. It's not about forcing a decision on someone on how to dress or not dress. It's about respecting that space and respecting the religion. And I've always believed that you're free to do all that you want, but at the same time, you should also respect everyone and their sensibilities. Right. So once that thing is there and the respect thing is very clear, I come back to the respect, because ultimately I think it is about respect between people and places and religions and everything. So once that thing is established, I think most countries in the world don't really bother what you do inside your home.
Yeah. Okay, so I wish more gold medals for your individual country and more coverage of the best athletes.